how can he be viewing the screen and say the car drive? We got a witness that the car was moving up the road. How can he sit there? That's just absurd. That's what my objection is. Unfortunately, I know what happened. So I know this case is going to end if I'm unfortunate. May I be heard?
Well, that only objection you might be heard. I'm not the other commentary.
Okay, right. I'm sorry. But what I'm trying to say is, how can he be looking at the screen saying that the family driving the car straight up the road? We got the witness that the car was traveling up the road. We got the witness saying he was parked down the road.
So that would be the subject of cross-examination. With the objection of
And the screens that you saw there as you there at the scene when you photographed it, with the car running, those screens basically changing images.
Like a slideshow.
I think speculation, Jerry, because he wasn't there looking at it. How can he say what the screens were doing and he wasn't even on Sycamore Drive this time? That's speculation. He can only assume what was going on.
Yes, sir. He's basically testifying to what was there at the time he arrived. The car was running. The car was in park. And at that time, it was continued to run at that point.
I'll allow testimony related to that. It would be speculation as to what was running prior to that.
I don't believe I asked him that. I said I was asking him at the time he was there.
With the objection.
Yes. And at that time, sir, that you were taking the photos of Officer Christian after the sheet had been removed, was that screensaver still rolling through with different images?
I object. Because my objection is, he stated, Mr. Malden stated that what Officer Christian was doing at the time. How do Mr. Malden know what Officer Christian was doing at the time? He was somewhere in the DNA office. He went in the car with Officer Christian, so it's speculation all the way around the board. Because we can't, nobody know what Officer Christian was doing, but yeah. So if he said Officer Christian looking at the screensaver at this time, how could Mr. Malden say that if Mr. Malden went in the car with Officer Christian? Don't nobody know that was God and Officer Christian. So it's speculation all the way around the board, so I just like to state that objection.
We go back again. At the time you processed the car there at the scene, you took photos of Officer Christian after the sheet had been removed and before, in fact, that car had been removed from the scene. You see that screensaver
You heard that the jury on this matter, please, sir. I object. I have something to say out the president of the jury about this. Please.
Turn the lights on, please.
This is not probated to any relevant facts. And the highly prejudice. What do the kids on the screensaver got to do with what Jamie Wood shot his gun? They doing this to interject passion. That's what they're trying to convict me of, passion. It's what's on the screensaver don't have nothing to do with Jamie Wood shooting no gun. It's irrelevant. And for him to come here and say Officer Christian was looking at this screensaver at the time of this police shooting is absurd and it's immoral. We got witnesses that say the car was moving. We got a witness who say this point of objection, please, sir. Let me slow down. We got a witness that Officer Christian was there and there and Timber Chase backed up. He waited and, hey, how you doing? That car was coming straight up the road and wasn't sitting in the road. They've been telling this tale for years. That's why I keep fighting so hard to tell them what's going on. That car was not sitting right there. And we done had witnesses come in and testify that car wasn't sitting there. All I'm somebody know what Officer Christian was doing, Officer Christian and gone. Jamie Wood don't even know what he was doing in that car. I know the car was coming that day. So for him to come in here and say, oh, Officer Christian was looking at the screensaver and looking at his kid and trying to shoot, he wasn't in the car with him. How can anybody come here and say that that's only speculating what he's doing? And they keep on hitting on points that are not relevant to Jamie Wood shooting this gun. We are not here for Officer Christian looking at on screen and saying, we here for why Jamie Wood shot the gun. And so what this is, they doing this is to inject prejudice to the jury. Let's convict them on passion. They don't want to convict them on facts. And he keep on hammering on this. And I feel like it really more and disrespectful. Officer Christian Kid didn't have anything to do with Jamie Wood shooting his gun. I ain't never saw Officer Christian my whole life. So what's the record is?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as the testimony, there is testimony that he was there parked at right at the entrance to Timber Chase. There was testimony based on folks that they saw the car moving. There was testimony that it was parked at the time of the shooting. It obviously was in park. It did not continue to roll forward. And nobody has indicated whatsoever that that car rolled forward after the shooting and continued to roll forward. And the implication, of course, is that it was clearly in park at the time of the shooting, because otherwise the car would have continued to roll forward. The defendant has stated and implied and stated otherwise that he was somehow justified in doing what he did at that time. And basically, what it is that Officer Christian may or may not have been doing at that time can be proven by circumstantial evidence. Was his telephone that was there? Was his windows up? Whether he heard the time may be relevant, but clearly those images show that basically different matters that had different pictures of what that screensaver was. Some of his family, some of things that were not of his family, and showed that was rolling at different times as Agent Rosser took photos, which is basically proof that it was actually scrolling through, and that is certainly circumstantial evidence of it scrolling through at the time Officer Christian was in the car, and at the time he was shot, and indicating basically what it is that he may have been seeing or viewing or otherwise at that point. But particularly goes to disprove some idea that that the defendant was somehow justified in shooting Officer Buddy Christian on that particular day. In addition, Officer Jim Schultz, without objection, did testify to this matter as well. And this, of course, his further testimony supports and corroborates what Officer Jim Schultz had to say about the images at that point. Agent Rosser had indicated about the family, and to go in that there were different, those screensavers and what may have been coming up, and to describe that certainly goes to prove circumstantially what was going on inside the car at the time Officer Buddy Christian was shot. It's certainly relevant.
I'm ready to rule. I'm overruling the objection. I will allow the question as relates to what this witness observed.
Yes, sir.
That's different from what the alleged victim observed. He can't say that.
I got you. And I was not suggesting or asking him to do that, but he asked about relevance. This goes to prove circumstantially what was going on in the car at the time and that was my response to his relevance objection there. I did not, I don't believe, ask him what was going on at the time Officer Christian was going, because he was not there, obviously.
I would.
Yeah, but he did say, but it's not his witness. Mr. Malden said, oh, this is what he was doing at the time. He was looking at these right here. He come out of his mouth, and he went in that car with Officer Christian. And that's what
I have ruled.
Okay.
And I would judge, as far as his objections, I would respectfully object to him referring to Mr. Malden doesn't know this, Mr. Malden doesn't know that, in response to some objections or an argument, objection, talking about Mr. Malden this and Mr. Malden that, and he doesn't know only God and so forth. That is not at all a appropriate response to a relevancy objection in court.
Swearing the jury in.
that to the, to the jury too.
Well, I probably will, that's a good idea. I will give you an update on the air conditioning. I was handed a note by Ms. Lopes, you can have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
I was given a note, the air conditioning part is en route from Atlanta, expected at 9:30. We'll send update. That's all I know. The objection is overruled.
Agent Rossler, let's go back. When you arrived on the scene to process it at 2:25, both patrol cars running or not?
Yes, they were.
Officer Christian's vehicle, was it still running?
Yes, it was.
And you'd indicated you took photos of Officer Christian before his body was removed, is that correct?
That's correct, I did.
And you took photos with the sheet on, is that correct?
That's correct.
And you took photos with the sheet off.
That's correct.
And the photos that you took with the sheet off, did you take a total of approximately 26 photographs?
Yes, that's correct, yes, sir.
And was that from different angles, basically, a little bit further away and closer, and the different angles from both sides?
Yes, that's correct.
And during the time that you were doing that, that laptop computer is in Mr. Edwards' computer, State's Exhibit 454, was that open and showing a screensaver on that?
Yes, it was.
And was that screensaver rolling different images as it was there in your presence?
Yes, it was.
And did you take photographs at different times of Officer Christian at that point?
Yes, as I was taking photographs of Officer Christian, the screensaver was acting like that slideshow. So if I was taking photographs of him, there were different images on the screensaver.
And different photos that you had showed the different images that appeared on the screensaver, is that correct, sir?
That's correct.
Okay. And you'd indicated some of the photos that came through in that slideshow were photos of his family.
That's correct.
And you recall basically the different images of his family that showed at that time?
It was, yeah, photographs of his family and his children.
Okay. And was there a photograph of just all the children, or did he have some of like one child and then another child, or do you know?
I believe there's a photograph of a child by himself, another child, and then there was a family photograph, and then there were other photos coming across as well.
Now, let me show you what I can as State's Exhibit number 456, sir. You can see that very well. It all, maybe even on your monitor, may show that have been on the overhead.
Yes, sir.
What is that showing, and can you identify different items in that photograph?
It is the steering wheel of Officer Christian's vehicle. The laptop is to the right, center console also to the right. There's the front dash.
State's Exhibit 457. Shows what, sir?
It's a photograph from a little bit further away. The front driver's side seat and floorboard compartment of Officer Christian's vehicle.
And as we these items down here on the floorboard beside the seat and then going toward the front floorboard in front of the seat. For the record, what are those items, sir?
That's the glass from the front driver's side window.
State's Exhibit 458 is what, sir?
It's a photograph from the front driver's side door of Officer Christian's vehicle. This is the back seat area. This is the glass in between, and there's the defect in the front passenger side seat.
And this glass, in between, describe that if you will.
It was intact. I'm not sure what material it is, but it was intact, and there are no defects noted in it.
Would that be the glass that separates basically the front seat from the back seat, and particularly anybody who may be in the back seat, I guess?
That's correct. That's what it's for.
As I zoom in with my laser pointer, is that the defect on the left side panel of the front passenger seat?
Yes, it is.
Where you remove the bullet projectile?
That's correct, yes.
State's Exhibit 460, sir. What?
It's a close-up photograph of the blood transfer stain located on the front driver's side headrest from Officer Christian.
461 shows what, sir?
Close-up photograph of the defect located in the front passenger side seat of Officer Christian's vehicle.
Before y'all cut into it and remove the projectile?
That's correct.
Before y'all cut into it and remove the projectile?
That's correct.
.462 is what, sir?
It's a photograph of the center console of Officer Christian's vehicle.
And the items in there that we talked about before, can you see those better?
It's a cellular
Identify them, sir.
cellular telephone and the microphone for the police radio.
When you say police radio, are you certain it's a radio, or could it be?
Could have been from the PA, police equipment.
State's Exhibit 464, what were you documenting there? What does that show and what were you documenting there?
Just a medium range photograph with the rear passenger side door being open, photographing into the vehicle.
That window was up as it was when you arrived on the scene?
That's correct.
And was it damaged in any way?
No, it was not.
.466 shows what, sir?
It's the the interior of the front passenger door of Officer Christian's vehicle.
Was that window up as it was when you arrived on the scene?
Yes, it was.
And was it intact?
Yes, it was.
And 465 shows what, sir?
It's a photograph of the back seat of Officer Christian's vehicle.
And up here, in the top left of the photograph, what does that display?
That would be the driver's side seat.
State's Exhibit 467 shows what, sir?
It's going to be a photograph from the front passenger door of Officer Christian's vehicle. This is the floorboard, this is the front passenger seat.
And 468 is showing what, sir?
It's a photograph of the items located on the floorboard. It's a CVS bag and a Home and Land magazine.
.469 is showing what, sir?
It's the bag that was located on the front passenger seat of Officer Christian's vehicle.
Did you note any damage at all to any of that from any kind of bullet at all?
I did not know that damage.
470 is what, sir?
It's a photograph, different angle from the front passenger side seat, the front compartment, front seat compartment of the Officer Christian's vehicle.
Do you see basically the side of the front passenger seat where the defect is located, at least? Can you point out about where that was in that photograph?
Well, the defect is actually, it's going to be on this seat here, in this area here.
.471. What is that, sir?
It's a photograph of the bag and the contents located in the front passenger seat of Officer Christian's vehicle.
.472 is just a different photograph and a different angle of that bag.
Yes, it is.
.473 is depicting what, sir?
It's a photograph from the front driver's side of Officer Christian's vehicle. This white thing here is one of those adhesive scales that I placed next to the defect in the front passenger seat to give you an idea of the size of it.
Were you doing that in preparation to go inside that panel and see what might be located in there?
Yes, that's correct.
.475 shows what, sir?
It's a closer photograph of the defect in the front passenger seat with the adhesive scale below the defect in the seat.
.476 is what, sir?
It's a photograph of the front passenger side seat after we removed the outer layer of the seat with the stereo scout.
From there, what did you do?
Pulled
From
back.
doing that, what did you do there?
There we cut back the exterior layer of the seat and then carefully started pulling back the padding, if you will, from the seat until we located the projectile.
And do you recall about how deep into that seat that the projectile was located?
Not very deep at all.
State's Exhibit 477 is what, sir?
It's a photograph of the bullet projectile that I recovered from the front passenger seat of Officer Christian's vehicle.
And after retrieving that, let me back up, let me strike that. Was that the projectile you removed from that panel of the seat that we've been talking about?
Yes,
And what did you do with that item, sir?
I collected it as evidence.
And as you collected it as evidence, what did you actually do with it? What did you put it in, and how did you preserve it?
That's in a little brown box with padding and cover has a little box top and seal it with crime or evidence tape, excuse me.
And you store it so it could be sent to the crime lab for processing?
That's correct.
And 481 shows what, sir?
This is the bag that was located in the front passenger side seat of Officer Christian's vehicle. That's the photograph of it after we removed it from the vehicle to search it for any items of evidentiary value.
Now, this phone right there that's on top of that bag there, or a portion of the top of that bag, is that the phone that was in the other photos, or was there a separate phone on the bag or in the bag?
I believe that was the phone from the other photos.
After processing Officer Christian's vehicle, number 265, the Chevrolet Impala, what else did you do there at the 1005 College Avenue building?
Then processed Officer Howard's vehicle.
Let me show you what I marked in State's Exhibit 482 through 510. Just take a look at that group of photos, sir. And that group of photos is depicting what, sir?
There are photographs from Officer Howard's vehicle as we processed it at that location.
482, sir, shows what of Officer Howard's Crown Victoria?
That is a photograph with both the front driver's side and rear driver's side door open, photographing into the front driver's side seat area of Officer Howard's vehicle.
Excuse me, what, 482 to what, sir?
482 through 510. Is a for the close-up of that same shot.
Yes.
.484 is showing what, sir?
The photograph of the front driver's seat of Officer Howard's vehicle, so cellular telephone and keys.
And those items were or were not in that position when you processed it there at the scene?
They were not. They were not in that position at the scene.
And they've been placed in the seat after the car had been transported?
That's correct.
And that's the way they were at that time?
That's correct.
And as you look at that seat, sir, not as clear, you make it look at your monitor, perhaps that's a little bit better, not a whole lot better. This substance up here, on the right side of the seat there, on the seat belt, what is that reddish substance there from your observation?
Blood from Officer Howard.
And from that point all the way over to the left part of the seat, did you see any substance like that at all?
No, sir.
And on the seat back in this particular photo, as it goes up,
No,
do
sir.
you see any substance like that at all?
No, sir.
State's Exhibit 485. Shows what, sir?
Photograph from the front driver's seat of Officer Howard's vehicle. The front seat, center console, and then there's the front passenger seat.
And you see there the area where the ticket book was located that you indicated had a defect in it.
Yes,
And where is that?
right up there.
And on this right side of the seat, that reddish substance, was that the reddish substance you referred to as the blood at the time earlier on the last photo?
Yes,
And all this on the console area, the reddish substance there and at other spots there, what was that, sir?
blood from Officer Howard.
State's Exhibit 486. Now zoom in. What is that showing, sir?
It's a photograph through the front seat of Officer Howard's vehicle. There's the middle ticket book, and here you can see the defect where the projectile entered the B pillar on the passenger side of the vehicle.
Is that where you recovered that particular projectile out of Officer Howard's vehicle?
That general area, it actually went through and then dropped to the floor.
Okay. State's Exhibit 487. What is that showing, sir?
A closer photograph of the middle ticket book and the defect in the passenger side B pillar.
State's Exhibit 489. Shows what, sir?
The close-up photograph here, you can see the defect in the ticket book. There's the defect in the B pillar, and here's one of the defects in the black strap of the bag located on the front passenger seat of the vehicle.
State's Exhibit 490 is showing what, sir?
So closer photographs, and I placed the adhesive scales, one above the defect on the ticket book, one adjacent to the defect in the black strap of the bag.
And this red item that's in that photograph in the center of that, what did that appear to be?
I believe it would be for directing traffic.
A piece of equipment for directing traffic.
I believe so.
491 is showing what, sir?
It's a close-up photograph of the defect in the metal ticket book. To the right, back towards this side would be going towards the driver's side. The left side is going back towards the passenger side B pillar.
As you look at State's Exhibit 491.
That's correct.
State's Exhibit 492 is showing what, sir?
Right there is the defect where the projectile went through the black strap of the bag.
You've got a scale up there to
Yes.
indicate that.
Just to indicate the size. strap is actually a strap from the black bag located in the front passenger seat.
State's Exhibit 493, showing what, sir?
It's a closer photograph of the defect in the passenger side B-pillar with an adhesive scale located above the defect.
And you indicated that that defect there and then the projectile. Tell us about that and where you recovered the projectile and so forth.
Sure, so the projectile entered through here, and then when it hit, when it entered, it stopped and then dropped as a result of gravity.
It dropped inside that particular plastic area?
That's correct. That plastic piece went to essentially to the floor.
And on the other side of this plastic in that B-pillar, it appeared to have struck that, and that caused it to stop and drop, or could you
That's-
tell at all?
It stopped at some point because it dropped. I'm not sure exactly what stopped it.
.494 is showing what, sir?
Just a photograph from a little bit further back, indicating the scales, indicating the defects that we just spoke of.
And sir, with what you had there, since you had, let me ask you, strike that. With what you had at that time, did you, part of your processing, try to determine perhaps the trajectory of the shot, as it may have struck the ticket book, the strap, as well as the B-pillar?
We did.
How do you go about doing that?
Sure, and once again, this is approximate. We used trajectory rods, placed it one end into the defect in the B-pillar. It lined up with the metal ticket book. And then you put an angle finder on there. Like I said, once again, it's approximate. If I'm not mistaken, this is going to be one of the projectiles that entered and exited Officer Howard. So that's going to distort the angle at which it comes out. So all I can document is the approximate angle that it ricocheted, that it hits the ticket book and then ricochets into the B-pillar.
After it goes through Officer Howard?
That's correct. And then the black strap as well. You know, that's going to be fairly light, so as it goes through it, that's going to move around.
Now, those trajectory rods, did you use those in regard to Officer Christian's vehicle?
No.
And why is that?
Because in order to really use them to get good trajectory, you have to have at least two solid fixed points for the rods to actually enter and exit so that it lines up properly. In the instance where it would be just a piece of glass and it's fairly thin, if you were to stick a rod through a hole, you'd be able to move it all around and you wouldn't be able to tell exactly what direction or trajectory it would be going. And so because of that, there was not a need for us to do that Officer Christian's vehicle.
With Officer Christian's vehicle, you had only the one point in the vehicle on the left side panel of the front passenger seat.
That's correct, and obviously with the front driver's side window, that's where the shots went through. And the majority of the glass is missing. As a result, you didn't have any other points to utilize the trajectory rods.
We had basically some indication of where Officer Christian was sitting and the entrance and exit move of his body there, as well as that defect. Did you have some idea perhaps of what the trajectory might be?
This is the trajectory rod that we utilized. You can see when we get a hole we can actually stick the trajectory rod into, we use what we call a cone to help stabilize the rod in position. Then it comes up through and actually makes contact with the ticket book. We believe it ricocheted and comes up at an angle.
497. Showing what, sir?
The different angle of the photograph with the trajectory rods in place.
489 is showing what, sir?
Another photograph from the driver's side, front driver's side seat with the trajectory rod still in place.
And that trajectory rod, as it extends out toward the driver's side, where is it pointing in relation to the driver's seat and driver's window, or could you tell?
So from that angle, it's coming from the driver's seat and very close to the seat back of the front driver's seat.
You have your laser pointed to demonstrate that.
Sure. So here's the front driver's seat, and it's coming, the trajectory rod is extending out in front of, almost at the headrest, in front of the front driver's seat.
May have misflipped it. That was Stacy Exhibit 499. Stacy Exhibit 500 is what, sir?
It's a photograph of the metal ticket book, which was located in the front passenger seat of Officer Howard's vehicle.
Showing the defect.
Yes, it does.
And 501, the close-up of that portion of the ticket book showing the defect.
Yes, it is.
For the record, would you point that out with your laser pointer? 502,
It's a,
showing what?
another photograph of the metal ticket book, the defect on it, as well as scale.
So let me show you State's Exhibit 504, 505, 506, 507, 8, and 9. Take a look at that group of photos. What are those photos showing, sir?
They're photos from the interior passenger side of Officer Howard's vehicle. Very hard to get into focus. It's actually, I was trying to shoot down that plastic piece that was on the B-pillar, trying to shoot from the top of it down. It was very difficult to actually get into focus. It was very dark down there. So we essentially just removed it, and then you're able to see the projectile located essentially at the, I guess we'd say the bottom of the B-pillar, and then located in the evidence box.
So these first photos that are part of the group, your attempt to try to show basically from the defect in the B-pillar down into that cavity there?
That's correct.
In order, after you did that, in order to retrieve the projectile, what did you do in regard to that plastic see in there about where the projectile was?
Right in there.
And that was inside that B-pillar there on the bottom?
Going down, yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 507. Is what?
The photograph of the fire projectile, as it laid as I found it.
And that's after you pulled it out.
After we pulled the plastic portion of the B-pillar out.
Was that photograph inside the B-pillar after, was that a photograph of the projectile inside the B-pillar after you pulled the plastic off? Or is that after you pulled the projectile off and put it somewhere else?
No, that is in the vehicle. The plastic portion of the B-pillar was removed, and that's where the projectile is located.
And State's Exhibit number 509 shows what, sir?
After I collected the projectile, placed it into a small evidence box, placed a scale on top of the box, and photographed it.
Just for the record, 510 is showing what, sir?
We opened the metal ticket book with the defect, and that was the first piece of paper on top of it.
Let me show you, if I can, a group of photos, 511 through 631, please. Look through those two. That group of photos, 511 through 631, was depicting what, sir?
There are photographs of the red Suburban as after it had been towed to the secured location, and I processed it on the following day. Photographed the interior and exterior of it as I got there.
You'd indicated that you had recovered some items out of that vehicle at the scene there before it was towed. Did you recover any items there when you processed it at the next day at that building, off the County Farm Road?
I located a black, I call it a stocking type hat. It was located between the front passenger seat and the center console. No idea if it was relevant or important to this case, but I collected it, because I did not.
Let me just run through a few of these if I might. 511 is showing the back of that car.
Yes, it is.
512 is
So
a photo of the side of it from the rear left.
driver's side, yes, sir.
515, pictures from the front.
Yes, sir.
518 is a picture from the passenger side.
Yes, it is.
520 is showing what?
The front passenger seat and floorboard of the vehicle.
524 is showing what?
This is a photograph of the black stocking cap that was located between the front passenger side seat and the center console.
That's the item that you seized the next day when it was processed.
That's correct.
527 for the record shows what, sir? Can you tell?
I believe that is the little pocket on the front passenger door. That would be the door handle to open the door from the inside, and that would be the kind of the molded pocket, if you will, on the door itself.
Anything of note at that?
No.
528 is inside a glove box. Picture that as it was opened after you opened it.
That's correct.
Showing what area?
This would be the third row of seats. This is the back of the vehicle here. This is the third row. This is the second row, the back seat.
Is that after you pulled one of the seats up to be able to get a picture?
That's correct. This is taken from the rear passenger side door.
.536 is showing what, sir?
The contents from the back hatch area of the vehicle.
.540 picture of what for the record?
The the rear driver's side door is open, photographing the interior of the rear driver's side door.
And 541.
They photograph into the back seat area from the rear driver's side door.
.550 showing what?
The photograph of the interior of the front driver's side door into the front driver's side compartment.
551.
They photograph into the front seat area from the front driver's side door.
And 551, that this item right here, what is that, sir?
The center console, I opened the center console of the vehicle, so it's open in that photograph.
You were the one that opened that before it was photographed.
I did.
.553 is showing what?
Closer photograph of documents located within the center console of the vehicle.
For the record, 557 is what?
They photograph under the hood in the engine compartment of the vehicle.
You were taking that photo for documentation purposes.
Just to make sure there were no items of evidentiary value in there.
show you states 560 to 565, this group of photos. What are those photos, sir?
There are photographs of the clothing located within the back compartment and inside of the vehicle. There are two blue hampers located in the back hatch area. I removed that and took out every piece of clothing, laid it out, and photographed it, just to make sure there are no items of evidentiary value located there.
Let me show you just a few of these. Just take a look at them and then I'll ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
561. 562. 565. Those items, after you took them out, and what did you do with them before you took the photo?
I just laid them out on the ground and photographed them. Looked at each one for any items of evidentiary value. Did not locate any.
566 is showing what, sir?
The remaining contents from the back of the vehicle.
568 is what?
More of the clothes from the other hamper located in the back of the vehicle.
Doing this, you took the items out, laid them on the ground, and took photos. Is that what you indicated?
That's correct, yes.
Did you seize those items at all?
No, just photographed.
Let me show you a group of photos, 574 through 583. What do those photos depict, sir?
Photographs of various documents located within the vehicle.
And where were those recovered from?
Throughout the vehicle, mostly in the center console.
Before you took the photos, did you pull them out and place them in a different spot before you took the photos?
Those photos, I photographed the vehicle as it is, as we looked at it already. Then these specific photographs, I removed them and placed them in a different location so I could photograph them better, more accurately.
You look through those items, sir. What are those photographs of, sir?
There are photographs of latent prints located on and in the red Suburban. Agent Foster, he's black fingerprint powder process the interior and exterior of that vehicle. He was doing that while I was removing the clothing and photographing the clothing.
And were each of the possible latent prints labeled in some way before they were lifted at all?
That's correct. There have the adhesive labels, I believe it's numbers 1 through 12, listed adjacent to each latent print, and then they were lifted as well. Clear fingerprint tape placed on white latent lift cards.
And these photos depict the different locations that possible latent prints were taken from.
Excuse me, Mr. Moore. I'm sorry, I got you bad. We'll go for recess.
Turn the lights on, please.